Yes, please come.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Arushi. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
So, Arushi, we start with your introduction to the panel.
So, my name is Arushi Sharma, and I am born and brought up in Jalandhar, Punjab, from where I did my high schooling, post which I did my graduation in psychology honors from Jesus and Mary College, University of Delhi. Uh, Along with my academic pursuits, I have keen interest in poetry, non-fiction books, art journaling, and having a general interest in mental health and suicide prevention.
So, Arushi, you're from Punjab.
Yes.
So, tell me, most of the states which were not in a very developed state in India, over the last 30, 40 years, they're on the path of development. In case of Punjab, it used to be one of the most developed states, and now it is on the path downwards. Now, can you recall or you know mention some of the reasons as to why this fall has come in Punjab's economic development?
So the first and foremost reason is the agricultural plateau that Punjab is facing now. So we were and actually are now also the granary bowl of India. However, there's a plateau in terms of a lot of problems that are stemming from agriculture. Second, sir, the industrial thrust has not put up in Punjab. So as much as we would have wanted to integrate industry into our economy, it did not take place at that level. Third, sir, is because there's a lack of skilled workforce. We're seeing a lot of youth, especially, is migrating out of the state. That also puts, so these are the three foremost reasons, sir.
Hmm. So tell me this: the extremist movement, Khalistan,
Sir.
first of all, and the the addiction among youth for drugs. Is that also can that also be counted as one of the factors or factors of the
Yes, sir.
for the development? Mhm.
Indeed, sir, it can be counted because we see that the most number of deaths actually due to drug abuse is happening in Punjab. And a lot of out migration also is linked to that. So, a lot of internalization of violence from whatever the extremist movements that were historically happening. Right now, it has gone a bit down. However, the drug abuse is on rampant in Punjab. So still the
So,
issue.
on what basis the government or the state was asking our migrant youth to come back, ghar wapsi and reverse migration, because what they will find is will be difficult for them to survive.
Indeed, sir, the state is trying to upbring certain measures in order to provide that ease of living in Punjab so that people feel safer and feel a better, able to better earn a livelihood in Punjab. For example, we are trying to crop diversify. We are trying to bring up industry. We have an industrial policy in place. However, sir, we need to create more awareness channels and showcase Punjab in a better light so that people actually know that
Okay.
what's going on.
Arushi, you had got some position in writing an essay on independent India at 75. Now, I would like a similar question. Uh, in these 75 years, what do you think have been the biggest achievements of country about which uh, we are all proud of? Say five, four or five things, if you can.
So number one would be the enactment of the Constitution of India in 1950. I think that forms the bedrock of our democracy and our ethos. Second, sir, will be the Green Revolution because that actually put India into the self-reliant mode
Good.
the earliest. Third, sir, will be in terms of our liberalization policy in 1991, which has been one of the biggest factors of leading us to Atmanirbharta. Fourth, sir, will be the bringing of Jan Bhagidari model through the 73rd and the 74th Amendment Acts, which brought in the Panchayati Raj and urban municipalities. Fifth, sir, I would want to say in terms of women, a lot of laws have been and policies have come in place which have brought women. We are trying to bring gender parity in almost all the
All
areas.
right. Coming to India-US relations,
So,
do you think that the new administration of USA is putting a lot of playing a psychological warfare against India and other nations also? Let's talk more about India. The kind of actions, blow hot, blow cold. On one hand, you know, you are getting into a trade deal. On the other hand, you are maltreating the immigrants. You are imposing lots of tariffs and all. What do you say?
So if I have to take a psychological stand on this, I think the first and foremost thing is the authoritarian leadership and also the authoritarian values that the US citizens and the society is also trying to portray. So, because they feel that their social identity as an American is at harm, and they want to safeguard that identity by not allowing other people to invade into their own identity, which also has to stem from the rise of inflation and their idea of not having that standard of living that they would want to have. So they're trying to be more into their national interest than promoting an international interest.
But is that the political agenda, or you think the American people also feel the same? Feel the same way? Is it the agenda of one person with their
So I
own
think,
with their own vested interest, or you think it is the psychology of the entire nation? Because just about for 4 years they were not into it, which doesn't mean that their morale is going down, and they are facing complexes against the other countries of the world. Is it?
so according to a research that I recently read, it said that 46% of people thought that what the US leadership right now is doing is okay, which is in alignment with how the society thinks that the leadership works.
All right. So thank you, Arushi. I pass on to a member.
Thank you, sir. Arushi, you have done some diploma in governance and government studies. So now this minimum government and maximum governance. So there is a lot of talk about this. So where do we see this in context of India?
So minimum government, maximum governance actually means that we're shifting from a more rule-based to a role-based governance model.
Yeah. So can you give some examples in
Yes,
how?
sir.
Yeah. In India.
So number one would be in the bureaucracy area. We've launched the mission Karmyogi for capacity building of our civil servants. Second, sir, will be the bringing in of e-governance, where we are trying to simplify a lot of areas where we have direct contact with the citizenry. And we are also bringing in the Jan Bhagidari model where the people feel more responsible as well as trusting the governance models through CPR grams or social audits for that matter. Fourth, sir, will be the deregulation of certain sectors as well as simplification in a lot of laws and also simplification of the procedures. So, to reduce the red tape within the bureaucracy as well as other areas, we're trying to simplify in a lot of places.
Okay. There are schemes, central sector schemes are there, and then central sponsor schemes are there. Can you name few schemes, 2-3 schemes from central sector side and 2-3 from central sponsor scheme?
So I'm not able to recall a lot, but I think Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao is a central sector scheme.
Okay.
And for centrally sponsored schemes, we have the aspirational districts program where we're funding 60:40 ratio. That is what I can recall, sir, right now.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that we are now using digital this
Sure.
thing. So where do, like, give me some specific examples where e-governance has really resulted in good governance?
So number one will be during the COVID times, we had the COVID platform, and
That is
was
one. Just no need of explanation. That is one very good. Tell me more. One or two more.
So number two will be the launch of DigiLocker.
Okay.
Number three will be the unified payment
UPI.
interface.
Yeah, UPI. Okay, good. Very nice. Okay, Arushi, you are also part of some project on green society.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, how will you create a green district once you become a DM? So, in 3-4 years, let us say your tenure will be, normal tenure is 3 years.
Yes, sir.
So, do you think that you will be able to create, make your district green in those 3 years' time? What action do you think you can take to make a visible impact in the district from the perspective of making it green?
So I think in the short term, the first and the foremost thing is health and sanitation.
Yeah,
So
very
we
good.
need to bring in technology-based waste management initiatives.
Very
We're
nice.
shifting to a circular economy and people are better aware of certain things. Second, sir, through participation with the civil society and private sector also, we can bring in plantation initiatives, which actually, for example, sir, the Miyawaki forest method is a short-term measure,
Yeah.
which was also seen in the Kumbh Mela recently. Third, sir, if going beyond, like starting certain initiatives which are not just limited to my tenure, but collaborating with a lot of other schools and colleges also to create an ecosystem where people follow the mission life and turn towards sustainable living.
Very good. Now, you are also fond of reading non-fiction books.
Yes, sir.
Tell me 2 books we have read recently.
So one of my favorite books that I actually reread also recently was A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl.
Okay.
And the second book is Why Bharat Matters by Dr. S. Jaishankar.
Why Bharat Matters.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me this Why Bharat Matters, some highlight of this book.
So the biggest highlight was how Dr. S. Jaishankar has connected our civilizational ethos borrowed from the Ramayana to our foreign policy. So when he says that the idea of Hanuman, so Hanuman did not know that they have a lot of capacities. So as and when the Ramayana unfolds, a lot of strengths of Hanuman unfolds. So that is the same case with India. We're trying to leverage all our civilizational ethos as well as whatever we are doing with Atmanirbharta now, creating a Vasudev Kutumbakam. So that is unfolding of our power in the strategic
good.
calculus.
Thank you, Arushi. I pass on to.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Well, I can see your poetry got published and you won Wingword Prize.
Yes, sir.
What inspired you to write this poetry? And tell me how poetry can shape social narratives, particularly vis-a-vis women.
So the inspiration behind writing this poem is my poetry is a woman. So this is linked to the lives of every single woman on earth. So basically, while I always try to actually find my identity in this world as a woman, and also having interacted with, having first-hand as well as second-hand experiences of how it is to live as a woman in a socio-political and cultural context, actually inspired me to pen down a piece which starts from exploration of identity as well as goes on to talk about how women are changing the narratives to find their own freedom and agency into this world today.
Okay, you have been an NSS volunteer.
Yes, sir.
And you worked during COVID-19 as well. So you worked closely with people in distress.
So it was an online mode because we were not accessible to the people.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Considering your experience, as an NSS volunteer and you worked during COVID-19 as well, do you think idea of service has changed? And what was your biggest takeaway from these experiences?
So while the mode of service might have changed, we're shifting to also more digitalized service-based models also. But the core idea of seva bhavna that we have been deriving has been almost the same. And that was the biggest takeaway also because every phone call that I used to do with the people who were quarantined during this period, they actually had one thing to say, that they can feel that power of human touch. And they used to call back also to thank. And I think that is the biggest motivation to actually lead a life with gratitude and with that seva bhavna.
Okay, you have held various leadership roles. You have been the content team member, you have been the core team leader, you have been the head girl as well. Uh, what, according to you, are the essential qualities of a leader? And is there any difference between a manager and a leader?
So the foremost quality, and this has been shaped by my favorite poet Rabindranath Tagore, that the underlying value of leadership should be love and trust. Because if we posit ourselves as a servant leader, like Swami Vivekananda rightly said, and we leadership basically is not just being authoritarian to point out what work needs to be done by the subordinates, but being a part of them and being able to empathize and love the other person, love the job that you are doing, and not take it just as a job but as a service. And second, sir, there is a difference between manager and leader. While a manager just focuses on the transactional part of the work, in leadership, we include the emotional intelligence too. So a lot of focus has also to be given to the intrinsic motivation that your employees are deriving from that work and focusing on how satisfied your employees are. That brings in leadership.
Okay, you have been associated with some suicide prevention program, and you are into art journaling, which is a unique hobby. Uh, can you tell me how artistic expression can be used for mental health and emotional well-being?
So, in psychology, we actually have a modality known as art-based therapy, which is actually used to, on a surface level, if you're not seeking therapy per se, we can use it as a personal level to, as a stress buster, and also to have a dialogue within. So it helps us have a better viewpoint of our own self, a better self-awareness, and also having uh, a better worldview also. So spreading our own knowledge about the world more than being limited to ourselves. And second, sir, art as it's also said that artists are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. So art also helps in legislating to the hearts and minds of the people. So it also gives an opportunity to connect with people more and tell them that it's not just them that they're facing such a problem. A lot of problems actually stem from a collective conscience.
Okay, my last question pertains to this doorstep delivery program which is going on in Punjab, Bhagwan Sarkar Tuade Dwar, which is about improving the doorstep delivery. What is it about, and is it replicable in other states?
As far as I can recall, sir, I do not recall the name of the scheme, but I think it's linked to the services, the government services that are being provided to the doorstep. I think it's in the right direction because people who do not have access to offices, especially people in the villages, especially women, because they do not have travel accessibilities as seen most in the most cases, and also persons with disabilities. I think till the time we're not able to have a robust transit-oriented infrastructure, such a move is in the right direction.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Arushi, you are a student of psychology.
Yes, sir.
So, tell me how psychology can be applied in solving the problem of global climate change.
So number one, in the if I have to use certain psychological principles, number one will be the nudge approach, which was suggested by Richard Thaler. So we need to create more incentives for people to adopt sustainable measures. For example, if there is a person does segregation of waste, a small token or a small ticket to certain things can be given so that they're nudged. Um, Second, sir, will be persuasion via effective leadership. So, if there's a better social influence in place and social proofs that people see that such things actually are going to be benefiting to them, that will create an atmosphere of better influence over them.
You have done internship and content and research in youth for mental health.
Yes, sir.
So let's say you are a DM of any district in Punjab. So how would you create awareness about mental health among youths in your district?
So through my learnings from the internship, number one will be sharing of lived experiences. So in this internship too, we had a platform where people who have been suffering from mental disorders have been sharing their lived experiences. And according to research, this is one of the most effective methods because people start feeling that they're not alone that who is facing such a problem and that help is available at all times. Second, sir, will be creating low cost and scalable methods. For example, in India, there's a program called Atmitya, which is a community-led initiative where the youth themselves are trained to be first-hand responders to certain issues. So if the community themselves comes together, it will also solve the problem of lack of mental health care professionals and will give an anchor to people within their communities.
Now, Arushi, coming to your internship on content writing. Now, the use of artificial intelligence, especially the tools like ChatGPT, are reducing the creativity and originality among writers. What do you have to say about it?
Sir, indeed, it is a grave issue because we're seeing that people mostly have started using ChatGPT and other AI tools to actually even write their research papers also. But a lot of loopholes exist because it does not have that human connection that content actually has to offer. So the art which was linked to emotions and the writing that was linked to a lot of lived experiences is not seen in what an AI can write. So if we can have better awareness initiatives right from the education in the starting groups and not allow children within schools at least to use modules like AI to submit their assignments, I think we'll start an initiative towards.
Arushi, how de-dollarization would help India?
Sir, I think if de-dollarization happens, one of the areas where India might be benefited is the deficit that India has with the dollar. So we'll be able to purchase in a better manner. However, it has to be navigated through a very skeptical viewpoint because concepts like de-dollarization take a lot of time and a lot of modularities have to be weighed in before any such step is taken.
Where do you see the Russia-Ukraine war is heading towards?
So, with the latest Munich security conference that took place, US actually wants the war to end, and so does Russia, but not including Ukraine in the deals and the peace talks. Certainly shows that Ukraine might not be able to negotiate better with what US and Russia now want to give. So, as India, which is siding with peace, we need to have better dialogue and diplomacy so that all the parties to the war, not just Russia but Ukraine, are included in the peace settlement.
Thank you, Arushi. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Harushi, what do you think about the cash freebies being given to women through direct cash transfer, and it is gradually spreading to more and more states, and maybe the timing of the freebies is also linked with the elections to that state. Now, would you, as a civil servant, recommend to the government scheme like this, or would you like to bring out a scheme in which the women are benefited by making them educated, or making their children educated, or for their nutrition purposes, and not give directly for any purpose? which option you think would be more sustainable and good for the country?
So while in the short term, we have seen that certain freebies, for example, bicycles were given to women in UP, and
I'm not talking of those freebies where some article is given.
money.
I especially mentioned cash freebies transferred through a direct cash benefit transfer.
So I would, in the long term and in the more sustainable term, better education policies and health and nutritional policies will actually help more, because it creates a model where people are actually
Are some states feeling the pinch of these commitments, freebies?
they are, sir, and actually Punjab itself is
Punjab, sir.
facing the issue, because a lot of freebies, whether in terms of agriculture or to women, have been promised, and that actually is increasing the debt burden of
Good,
Punjab.
good. So, Arushi, now we are almost done with our questions, but in case you think that something in your DAF has been left uncovered, in that case, I can ask you one more question.
I think everything was
Has
covered.
been done? All right. So, Arushi, we are over with the interview. We will call you again after a few minutes. Meanwhile, you can wait in the reception area.
Thank you so much, sir.
Please take your seat,
Thank you, sir.
Arushi. So, how was your interview, Arushi, today? Your own assessment.
So I think I could have done better.
Mhm.
Especially this is just my second mock, so I do not have a lot of anchor to how my improvements are going in giving the mocks.
So, you mean to say you did not get enough feedback to improve further? All right. So, and this is your first interview in
Yes, sir.
UPSC. So, Arushi, we are ready to give you a very detailed feedback. You know, and the feedback is that we are very impressed with your performance. You are very good, and when I say very good, it means that you are one of the those top or second top categories, because we keep interviewing you know people like you. So you were good in all areas. You were very deep in your knowledge. You had very good analysis, very balanced personality, and good facts you knew about. Very good structured answers. Very matured and intellect based, I would say, and with a concise manner, without taking it very long, very brief, but to the point. So I think we are very impressed. I, in fact, have nothing much to say. In fact, even this 75 years that you picked up, they were very good. There can be 5 more,
Yes, sir.
but you picked up. Since you have mentioned 75 years in your DAF itself, it was not a question which we thought. So maybe this could be one of the questions.
Yes, sir.
I can just flag 1 or 2 more points for you, but which one you would drop, I do not know, because all were important. So democracy, maintenance of democracy in India,
Yes.
has I rate as one of the,
That's one of the most important things, sir.
whatever is happening in our साउथ एशिया एंड आसपास जो भी हो रहा है, हमने अपनी डेमोक्रेसी को बचा के रखा, नॉट इवन बचा के रखा, वी स्ट्रेंथेंड इट फर्दर. That I think is a India becoming nuclear power is also
Yes.
is a big achievement, right? And of course our cultural integration,
Yes, sir.
the integration, democracy is
So
a
should I
different.
so give this, like, I just pinpointed very specific things. So can I have like this broader world view also then?
Why not? Why not? That's why I'm giving you some more fodder.
Yes, sir.
I leave it to you which one you pick. I didn't find any flaw in what you mentioned. You picked up very good ones. But maybe we have more than 5 achievements. So you could include this also. And of course, lately India is a global power.
Yes.
So that is also, So maybe you could pick up something which is more recent,
Yeah. Yes,
like liberalization, of course, is one of the constitution, of course, we were able to make, and adhering to the constitution, and constitution remaining supremacy of constitution.
I could start like this.
Yes, it is not constitution, so everyone makes. But lately there was a session on constitution, remember?
Yes.
In the parliament, both the houses, they resolved unanimously that we believe in supremacy of law. So you can just pick up but good structured answers you gave, and I like the India US thing also. Freebies also. Don't mention anything short term. You were about to say something in the short term, and then
Yes.
probably you withdrew from that, because most of the candidates are saying in the short term it is very good. So my reply to them is, how short is the short term? So the people who do this, they also do it for short term only, just before the elections, and then they crib what has happened, and very silently they can take it out, because for 5 years they are in the power. So very good. Overall performance was very good, and you will do very well.
Thank you, sir. I think same here, Arushi. Just one point on governance,
Yes,
because you have done diploma in governance, so we should be very thorough
Yes.
about all aspects of the governance, different scheme for the central sector, centrally sponsored, which are centrally then also in e-governance, you should be like Gati Shakti.
Yes.
I asked you where like this e-governance, and I have shown I would say very substantial results. Pragati about this monitoring by Honorable Prime
I
Minister.
couldn't recall it at
Yeah, so yeah, because you have done diploma.
Yes, sir.
So and you are entering into government. So there will be lot of questions can be asked on the governance structure, how like different schemes, particularly women development scheme, what are initiatives, and all anything related to government, you should be very thorough.
Yes.
But otherwise, you are very good. You really answered all the questions very well, very confident, relaxed, very pleasing personality. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I have the same opinion. Your articulation was good. You were poised while responding to questions. There was a lot of conspicuous maturity in your arguments, and your knowledge base is quite extensive and diverse. I firmly believe you will do really well. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
So Arushi, same opinion. Overall, good performance. Keep it up. Read more on the de-dollarization question which I
Yes,
asked.
so I actually forgot because I'd not read in the recent times, so I
Yes,
did not have a good
Yes,
answer.
you could have framed it in a better
Yes.
manner. It is always better to reduce dependence on any one particular currency, and in case of US sanctions also. However, India is not supporting it because they then have to compete against the Chinese dollar, Chinese yuan also. So read more on those lines, okay? Otherwise, you are doing well. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Any
sir.
questions, Arushi?
So one thing I wanted to ask that I actually wanted in the real interview them to tell me to recite a poem.
To
To recite a poem actually.
recite a
Yeah,
poem.
recite.
It's a mock.
Yeah, not a, like in the actual.
interview.
So if they ask me in the end that do you want something,
No, but you write very nice poems.
I will.
Poetry
I
free
cannot.
verse, huh? So is it your passion that you
It
want
is
to?
my passion indeed. So, but then,
Can you hold your emotions for those 30 minutes?
so I should not like in the end if they tell me that.
In the end, if they ask, like I asked you,
Yes, sir.
sir, I write poems, you can ask me something on that. Now, there is no harm in saying that. The normal question would be, if you had said the same thing to me also, I would have said, okay, what kind of poems do you write? Sir, I write poems for a whaler and freedom and independence, this, that. So, all right, which is the best poem you have written on? Sir, I have written on this. Okay, thank you, Arushi. Now, very rarely it will happen that the panel will, they're always short of time, that they will ask you, unless somebody कोई वहाँ बैठा हुआ है पोएट वाला ही, तो वो कह अच्छा चलो एक सुनाओ एक, तो it can happen. So keep one poem ready.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody picks up your hobby and say, "Ki, acha, what kind of poem you write?" And but make it very short.
Yes, sir.
8 लाइन से ज़्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए, ठीक है ना? वो नहीं तो वो चलता जाता फिर दे लुक एट टीचर, यार क्यों कह दिया इनको। और पोएम,
Yes, sir, got it.
हाँ, और पोएट्स के लिए या पोएटेसेस के लिए, दे कॉल पोएटेस, पोएट्स ही
Now
कहते
we
हैं।
don't poet.
ओके, तो पोएट्स के लिए कहते हैं कमजोरी होती है, कोई सुनने वाला मिल जाए तो वो रुकते ही नहीं है। So last but not the least, Arushi, we need to see a little bit of smile also during your conversation. You were like a scholar. Got it? So you have to be like a civil servant, a bureaucrat who can get along with everyone. Right? So see whichever way you have time.
Yes, sir.
The rest is absolutely fine. We have given you 68% marks today. That's why I said you are one of the top categories.
All right.
Anything else you want to know? You'll do very well. But don't be complacent. Keep reading newspapers. Be in touch with everything.
Thank you so much.